We start with breaking news this hour, and the U.S.-allied YPG has given the Syrian regime a section of land just west of the city of Manbij. Now, some of the territory between Manbij and the front line of fighting Turkish-backed rebels will now be under regime control. Ankara says the YPG is the Syrian wing of the PKK terror group. The YPG-affiliated Manbij Military Council says the handover was to protect civilians and is part of an agreement with Russia. Well, Iolo Dafydd joins us now live from Gaziantep. Iolo, tell us why the YPG would hand territory over to Assad's regime. Was it just in the interest of protecting civilians, as they claim?
It's a short statement. It doesn't give us an awful lot of information, apart from the fact that some villages to the west of Manbij have been given to the Russians. That's what the YPG insist in their statement. But that, of course, means Assad's regime. It means Syrian regime forces. And it is to act, which they admit, as a buffer zone in between the Turkish forces and the FSA, which have been conducting the battle around Al-Bab for the last few months, and also, of course, the other Arab forces, mainly the predominantly Kurdish troops of the YPG near Manbij. So it is precisely for that buffer zone. And the complicating factor here, of course, is that the YPG and their forces, the SDF, they are backed by the Americans. And so, to avoid any direct conflict, and of course that the Kurdish would probably be worried that the Turkish troops and the FSA would move against them, especially after the victory in Al-Bab, then they've released these villages to have that buffer zone. And that's why they claim that they've been talking to the Russians to try and negotiate that, because this area, for the last 5 years, has been like a shifting sands in terms of who controls what.
Okay, and expand on what this might mean in terms of the fight against Daesh, and particularly the roles of U.S. and U.S.-backed and Turkish forces on the ground there.
Well, obviously, we've been focusing a lot, and in Turkey there's been such a lot of emphasis on this battle for Al-Bab to the east of Aleppo. But far bigger battles, more than likely, are ahead. And they are, of course, to try and dislodge Daesh from Raqqa, its headquarters in Syria. The Syrian regime forces are keen for that, but there seems to be, and there has been for the last 2 to 3 weeks at least, there seems to be a greater cooperation between most of the international players, and that includes Turkey, the United States, Russia and Iran. So if that focus then is to try and dislodge Daesh, then how do you do it? Who cooperates with who? And if the Turkish government and President Erdogan has said that he would like to move against Manbij to try and get rid of what they see as a terrorist organized area and a terror group fighting and controlling that border immediately to the south of Turkey, how can he do that if the United States is still supporting and backing the YPG and the SDF? Because according to the Americans, with the previous administration of Barack Obama, this is the best fighting force in trying to get rid of Daesh in the area. So far, and now the pressure is really mounting, we don't know how President Trump will react in terms of where does he place his troops, some troops and some weapons in that area, and does he still go with the YPG? This is the pressure that President Erdogan is trying to put to bear on the new president in America.
Okay, Iolo Dafydd joining us there from Gaziantep, Turkey. Thanks so much for that.